I have made my way to Paris. It is beautiful. I'm loving it here. But before I got to Paris, as you would have seen, I did a book haul maybe a few days ago now. I think maybe 4 or 5 days ago. I went book shopping with Dakota and she took me on a book crawl. And we all know that something happened, something came over me. I blacked out. The parasites took over and they bought 17 books. Now, I think I'd got to 22 books by this point with Ireland and Edinburgh in there as well. I'd accumulated like 20 something books. And I had the issue of having to get them home to Australia. So I went to the post office and shipped a few extra things home, a few clothes and stuff I wasn't going to wear that I hadn't been wearing and hadn't felt the need to. I'm backpacking, so hence why I had to send all my stuff home. But it ended up costing, you can have a guess in the comments if you want, but it ended up costing me 300 Australian dollars, 160 something pounds maybe, or 47 pounds or something like that. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. It was 10 kilos. So yeah, I have started a new book, The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. I kept that book and a few other books here with me, but I hadn't been to Gaze the Word yet in London, which is a queer-owned bookshop full of amazing queer literature. And I told myself that I would ship home all my books first because I was already out and I didn't want to have to lug them around. And then we went to Gaze the Word, and something happened. Something came over me, and then we something happened. That's all I'm going to say. Something happened, and I bought 4 more books. And then we went to Brick Lane Bookshop in London, and I bought another one. So I ended up with 5 more books after shipping home the 20 something that I already had. So that being said, I thought I'd show you the books that I bought in question. There, as I said, there's 5. I'm going to start with the book I bought from Brick Lane Bookshop first. Now, I've talked at length about Olga here on my channel because I read my work a few weeks ago now, and my favorite book I've read this year by far, and I think it might be one of my favorite books of all time. I was obsessed with it. I loved it from the cover to the margins to everything within cover to cover. I loved it so much. So I'd been on the hunt for The Employees, and this was Olga's first piece of fiction. All my friends here on Book Talk rave about it. It was shortlisted for the 2021 International Booker Prize. Now, this cover, I hated it at first, and I was waiting to find a better cover, but then something happened, and I bought this instead. But it's actually growing on me. I do quite like it. I'm loving uh, block colors like bright blues, bright reds, bright yellows, and them being in your face at the moment. I'm really living for them. So this was a good purchase, I think. This was £13, so like 20 something Australian dollars. And it was from Brick Lane Bookshop. Brick Lane Bookshop was really, really beautiful. I really liked their selection. They also had a signed edition of my work, but it was the most ugly, ugly cover ever. Ever, so I didn't get it, but I was tempted. But I was a good boy. I didn't get it. I really did want to though. Brick Lane Bookshop was really really nice. I did like it. The staff or the guy who served us was sort of rude. He just sort of grunted, and I did get a bookmark, which was nice because not many bookshops have been giving me bookshops. Like London Review Bookshop didn't give me a bookmark. Where else did I go? Daunt Books didn't give me a bookmark. So bit strange because I love a good bookmark. In Australia, any independent bookshop you go to usually has a bookmark that is quite nice, and you end up collecting them. And yeah, but Dawn Books, I do like this because it's not too big. I don't like big bookmarks. I mean, not Dawn, Brick Lane. What am I talking about? I do like that. Very nice. Thank you, Dawn. So I got that. And then we went to Gaze the Word. And this was, well, I went to Gaze the Word before Brick Lane. Anywho's. Gaze the Word, beautiful, beautiful bookshop. I'm imploring you, if you're in London, make the trip. It's worth it. You're going to find so many books that you haven't heard about. 3 of these books I'd never heard about, and I had to get them because I had a pile of like maybe a few more, but then I was good and I put some back, and I took photos of all the ones I didn't get. I'm going to start with the one I did know, which is The Sluts by Dennis Cooper. The Sluts by Dennis Cooper is a book that I've had my eye on for a very long time, but in Australia, it is impossible to get. You cannot get this book in Australia. I've tried ordering it online. It's I don't know whether it's banned or something. The politicians don't want us to have it, but it's impossible to get. This was quite expensive. This was like 30 something Australian dollars, £17 for anyone who's interested. I did think this was a lot longer. Because on Storygraph and stuff, it's listed as like 500 pages. This is like 280 pages, if that. Relatively short. A bit too big for my liking. Like, I don't really like how large in terms of having to hold it. It's like in between a normal paperback and the Australian first market paperbacks. But yeah, The Sluts. This is about male escorts and one specific escort. And my friend Nathan Snook, has implored me to read this. I also have Closer, maybe, I think it's called, by Dennis Cooper. I don't know if that's right. It's at home on my bookshelf waiting to be read. But Nathan told me to read this first, so I've been waiting to read the other one until I could get my hands on this. I didn't expect to find this, but I found it, and I had to get it. I feel like that was a fair purchase. Don't come for me. I then saw this. Now, the thing that struck me about this was the color. That is a beautiful cover. The font, I love it. And the title, I love a good title. The Milkman's on His Way by David Rees. And this is a gay classic, according to Ian McKellen. And this is about growing up in the 1980s as a gay man and coming to terms with how to come out and what this means and the impacts this will have on your relationships and specifically your family. And I'd never heard of this, but it looked really, really good. And it looked really, really good. It took my fancy. I'd never seen it. And so when I find queer books that I have never seen before and sound intriguing to me, I want to get them because I'm always looking for good ones to review on TikTok and put people onto. And so, yeah, I did pick this up. I'm very happy with it. And I'm excited to read it. I'm going to do that last because it was the last book I found. I then got Christos Tisglokas. I don't know. I'm very sorry. I butchered that. Cover, disgusting, vile. I don't know who decided that was a good idea to make it like that. But this is called 7.5. And I've seen this author around quite a lot on my travels, so he must be popular here. But I decided to get this because I'm going to Greece and Italy, and I wanted something a little bit warmer to read alongside Hot Milk. And so this is about a writer who had been in quite an intense relationship, from what I can gather, and he goes away to write. He goes away to a remote location, I don't know whether it's in Spain or Greece or something along those lines, to write and shut out everybody he knows, but obviously that's not going to work. And it follows him in the aftermath of that. That's what I can gather from this. I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be the perfect Euro summer read. It's a bit of a longer one, 350 pages. I am picking a few longer books up. As I said, I'm reading The Beasting by Paul Murray, which I'm really, really liking, by the way. I'm only 100 pages in. I read it on the train from London to Paris for 2 hours, but really, really good. Let me know if you've read it. It's not usually a book I would gravitate towards, but a few of my friends have read it, and I don't know, I was feeling something like I needed something a little bit more dense, so I've been reading that. The last book I got is Andrew McMillan's Playtime. This is published by Cape Poetry. I pulled this out because the spine was really beautiful and elegant and simple, and I always gravitate towards those sort of thing. And then I saw this. Are you joking me? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Brody thought they had the pants down. They in fact do not. But yes, so got this. Very, 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 very beautiful. Apparently, I'm going to read you this little review because I didn't really flick through it or anything, but I usually just try to find random poets. If I like the look of the cover, I will buy it, especially if it's queer. Queer poetry is something that's hard to find a beautiful cover of. So when I do, I pick them up. And I always like to have poetry collections just to fall back on between fiction and non-fiction. This says, physical is alive with subtle reflections on masculinity, love, and loss, a record of how we forget ourselves and how we remember. It will captivate and change you. That sounds right up my street, so hence why I got it. I'm very excited for this. I don't know when I'm going to read this. I might save this when I get home, but we'll see. I then made 2 more book-related purchases. Actually, no, we did buy one other book. Wait, where is it? Let me find it for you. Oh, there are things everywhere here. Oh, thank you. Already was. Those are the magnets.
Did you just break it?
No, it didn't break. We got the ugliest magnet. We're collecting magnets for our fridge, and Brody decided that it would be funny to get this.
It's so ugly.
It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life, and she almost broke. Brody would have murdered me. So, anywho, sorry. We did also get two magazines. Now, one of them we got at Gaze the Word. Brody actually got these. They're called Kink. They're like this gay magazine zine thingy. And they're full of just naked pictures of men. But we didn't realize. So we got this, and then we came to Paris, and we went into a bookshop called OFR, which was full of beautiful, beautiful coffee table books. I had to be restrained in there. But we got this as well because we're like, oh, we might as well add another one to the collection. We liked the first one a lot, so why not grab another one? And then we found out it's the same edition, just a different cover. So now we have two editions, but still, they look different, so they'll look cute on the coffee table. So we got that. And then I got a Gaze the Word tote bag in this striking yellow. I love collecting different bookshop tote bags, so hence why I got that. And then we also, seeing as we're in Paris, I have the only bookshop I've been to OFR, obviously the coffee table bookshop, and then Shakespeare and Co, a bookshop I've been waiting to go to for a very long time. So we went in there, and I feel like I bought all the books that have been on my list, sort of. And of course, I could have bought something else, but the books were very, very expensive in there. I more just went to have the experience. I already do have a tote bag from Shakespeare and Co that my sister got me last year when she was in Paris. So I didn't, in fact, get a tote bag. I did want an embroidered one, but they were very, very expensive, almost 100 Australian dollars. So I settled on a T-shirt because I was like, why not get a cute little T-shirt? I do need to get this altered. It's very, very long, and I guess they're a tighter fit. So I got it a bit oversized. So I want to get it taken up before I wear it. And I don't know. I'm not about tucking things in. Maybe I should get into it. It might help me out. But I'm gonna hold it up, so bear with me. It's in this beautiful like orange color with this red font, and it just says Shakespeare and Company, maybe Shakespeare and Company Paris. So I had to get that because I was like, oh, that's such a cute souvenir. So yeah, that's what I bought along with magnets and patches. Maybe I'll show you them eventually. I'm doing my bag with patches, my backpack. I'm gonna put patches all over it, so I'm getting a patch from every place. So I've been collecting those as well. But that's all I've really bought. Pretty much everything I bought is to do with books, which isn't that great because they're not the easiest to transport, but I'm very happy with the purchases. We went to the Louvre today. It was fabulous. I loved it. There is a video coming, a vlog. I've been camcordering. Brody's been helping with that, and I'm just waiting till it's big enough to post because it's hard managing TikTok vlogs and everything else, photos, whatever. So the clips are accumulating a little bit more slowly. Maybe after Amsterdam, I'll post it, and then the maybe Italy and Greece, sort of, and Germany might get their own. We'll see. But yeah, went to the Louvre today. Very enjoyable. We tried the famous hot chocolates today. Overrated. And then tonight we're going to the very, very famous Steak Fritz restaurant. So I guess we're gonna get ready. Well, I'm ready. Brody's just got to get ready, and then we'll go and have something to eat there. We're gonna have to line up for ages, and I'm getting very hungry. So, on that note, I'm going to leave you. Love you. Say goodbye, and yeah, thanks for watching my haul. Thank you for watching me be irresponsible. I really appreciate it. Toodaloo. See you soon.